Don't you know that not listening to the Shenmue AM2 podcast is way uncool?
Welcome back to another episode of the Shenmue AM2 podcast. We're your hosts, Andrew
and Matt.
And we are here to talk about one of the best days in a very long time for Shenmue fans. We got KickStarter update number 85, which is some information about the survey, has a wicked new screenshot, and talks about reaching a stretch goal. And then we also got the launch of the Kickstarter for Adam Scipione's Shenmue documentary, which he's been a guest on this podcast, and I am psyched to be out of my mind for that to happen. So we'll hop into the Kickstarter update first. Let's talk about hitting the stretch goal.
$7 million.
The last time they updated the Slacker backer, it was just over 6.9 million. So I'm guessing that the money from the upgrades on the survey was what pushed it over the 7 million. I don't imagine just out of nowhere we got $100,000 in donations.
Probably.
So we are going to get the AI battling system.
I'm still confused about that. Even though there's an explanation, I'm not sure I still understand it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's... yeah, I don't think we really need to get the explanation because I don't know a whole lot about it. I think it was it Switch or someone, Lumio, Shenmusing, someone did a...
speculation?
No. Yu Suzuki talked about it a bit.
He's talked about it plenty of times, but I still don't get it.
Next we just have this kick-ass screenshot.
Just one screenshot will get us all drooling.
I'm drooling. First off, did you even notice the forklift in the background?
Still don't.
Right there.
I see it. Yep.
Nice.
Well, they promised forklifts.
Orange and black forklift. The first thing that stood out to me on this is the interface. Looks very crisp. Clearly that ball on the lower hand side of it shows Ryo in some sort of stance. So I'm guessing you have different fighting techniques or styles of some sort.
Ball on the lower right hand. Oh, the little figure inside there.
Yeah.
I don't know what that, what...
And there's words next to it as well. So I'm assuming that is describing some sort of
I don't know, I wouldn't
stance.
I wouldn't want the words popping up every time I do a move.
No, not necessarily for the move, but for what technique you're using. Excuse me. Or something along those lines.
Maybe. And then he's got the little milk bottle.
It appears to be milk. He's saying his prayers and taking his vitamins as well. I'm wondering if they're going the route of Yakuza with this, where if you have a drink of some sort, it...
Let us eat at restaurants, please.
Yeah, I would love food to be part of this. I wonder if Ryo's old enough to drink. I don't think he would be.
I'm not sure about the age limit in China.
Well, yeah, I was thinking age limit in Japan, but he's not in Japan, he's in China.
Yeah. If this is there's a forklift, this is obviously a warehouse, just look at that compared to the warehouses in the old game and how empty and sparse they were. This thing is filled with character and lots of interesting objects that they've rendered and stuff, and really nice lighting.
It looks like it could be a legitimate workplace for someone, like at a port or a harbor. This is the storage warehouse. And of course, it being Shenmue, it has to have warehouses and forklifts. I mean, there's no way around it.
You were pointing out that the enemy's health bar is smaller than Ryo's.
Yes, this is a huge thing for me. It has one. So Shenmue 1, the enemies did not have health bars. In Shenmue 2, they did, but they were, the way I remember it, they were all the same. They all had a full health bar, completely the circumference of the circle.
Yeah.
This doesn't. In Shenmue 2, when I'm fighting Do New or I'm fighting Random Thug 7, they both had the same amount of dots. It was just, when I hit Do New, maybe one dot goes away. When I'm fighting Random Thug number 7, 4 of them go away when I hit them.
Yeah.
This is nice because it immediately tells you, all right, this guy is easier to beat.
Yeah.
I'm assuming, and what I'm hoping would happen is it shows Rio fighting, how many guys are there? It looks like 5 or 6. I'm hoping,
5.
You kind of have like one kind of sub-boss or something in there.
Yeah. I hope the NPC bad guys are just as varied as the previous game, Shenmue 2, which had they must have had over 100 unique bad guys.
Oh, absolutely. When you first go to meet Ren, is it?
Well, on the wharf. Yeah.
On the wharf, and it's the fight that no matter what you can't win. It just kind of fades to black. There's a ton of guys just standing around. You're actually only fighting, I think, 3 of them at a time, but there's just a ton of guys in that one spot. So
And they all look different.
They all look different. There's the guy that looks like he's wearing the Harborview High sweater.
And they don't look like they were just slapped together either. They look like they all got a little bit of character.
Yeah, they all have individual faces. I don't think there's any characters that have the exact same face in the Shenmue series.
I don't think so. I mean, you can't really tell with the guys in the black suits just because you never get a close-up on them, but I'd be willing to bet they all have different faces.
Yeah, I don't remember, when you get to the top of the Yellowhead building, even when you're fighting a few of them at a time, they all, in my mind, are different.
Yeah.
Different haircuts, some of them have sunglasses. I think there's one guy that has, a very weird-looking soul patch. I love that there's fire in a barrel in this. I just think of...
In the screenshot, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just beating on hobos. Maybe these guys aren't bad guys at all. They're just target practice.
Rio's...
palm strike.
Rio likes the homeless. We learned that in Shenmue 1.
Not these ones.
Yeah, but his story of revenge just ends when he gets hobo knifed. It's made out of a rusty piece of metal. Those barrels give off great lighting effects. All I can think of, anytime I see a fire in a barrel, I just think of the second Mighty Ducks movie when Emilio Estevez, he finally realized how much of a dick he's being. He's like, this is a distraction, and it's like a cardboard cutout of him. It's like, this is a fire in a barrel. This is a distraction and a fire in a barrel.
That is a random pull. I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, so that's the screenshot. It looks fantastic. They also added an additional upgrade or add-on announcement. For $450, you can get all 4 of the toy capsule set. Some people were upset that this was $50 less than the Kickstarter, but it doesn't include the autographed art book. I think it's just the regular art book is the difference. Someone did... I don't know. Pete Campbell's popping in my mind, but someone questioned it and he posted the official response or something from Easnet or Eisnet or Ease.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
everyone knows what you're talking about.
So yeah, I love the fact that these upgrades are there. It's putting one final push on. I would love to see how much money this makes near the end.
Well, isn't it over very soon?
August 13th.
Okay.
You and I watched the finale of the Kickstarter. Me, you, our wives, and your brother, and we convinced him to donate that day.
Yeah. Peer pressure. I should remind my brother to check for his backer survey. He's probably forgotten all about it.
Yeah, I gotta get Tim on his too. I think he actually. I think we talked about it. I think he hasn't filtered to his junk mail.
Oh no.
Aww. Yeah, so that's that. And then there was just some survey FAQs, and I think this puts a nail in our coffin. We may need to change our surveys.
Why is that?
Because the word Shenmue is copyrighted, and we are referring to personal things, which are both no-nos. So what I might do is I may actually contact Easnet through the Kickstarter and ask, be like, give the scenario, this is what it is, and see if they give a thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yeah. My
worry is if they give a thumbs up, is it still at the discretion of whatever programmer sitting there actually putting it in the game?
Well, hopefully they would ask.
Yeah. So I want to err on the side of caution. I don't want to have dumped all this money in and then that be taken away from me.
Yeah.
So
I'm just sending my brother a reminder right now. Kyle, fill out your backer survey. So what's next?
Scroll. They do talk about with the PC and PS4 physical version disc data. Words are hard sometimes, people. That they're not just going to be an unlock disc for example, like the Telltale games, where the new Telltale games, they come with the first episode on the disc, and then they just are a key to unlock the rest of them. The full game will be on there. And by full game, it's whatever is on there before they have to patch it, because I'm sure there'll be patches.
Oh yeah, day one patch, every game.
Also, it's going to be region specific, which I think is really for the PS4. Just literally means what language is going to be on the outside of the package. Because I imagine the actual date on the disc will be the same because it's region free.
Yeah, I thought it was a region-free console, but...
Oh, it definitely is. That being said, there is a warning here. Network online services or DLC may not function properly.
Yeah.
DLC codes are region locked. There's ways around them. You can just set up like a Japanese PlayStation account or something. But I've tried to download just some codes that were in my Yakuza games that I've purchased that were from Japan, and those don't work. So you need to make sure that you do select the right region, because there are going to be things that are DLC, such as the exclusive backer scrolls. There's no really other way for them to put those in the game without that.
Yeah.
They did put out the system requirements for the PC version.
It means nothing to me.
Why?
Well, I mean, the big controversy is the 100 gigabyte available space is needed. But besides that, all those stats, I just assume it'll run on my 8-year-old computer. We'll see.
It won't.
It won't? Why?
Are you being sarcastic?
Why wouldn't it run?
It won't run on my brand new computer.
How do you know?
I looked it up. There's actually a website called Will It Run?
Oh.
Or Will My PC Run It, or something along those lines. And it essentially takes the data from Steam and then scans your computer. And I only have... I meet all of the minimum requirements except for the memory for the video card. My computer just has an onboard video card. It's nothing fancy, but that kind of bummed me out a little bit.
Well, yeah.
To Best Buy.
Not that I was ever going to play on the PC anyways, but maybe in the future. I just like having it in my library. It's always there.
I will probably... I just don't want this to be my gateway drug for Steam. Because there's plenty of games on there that'll play, no problem. And I just don't want this to be like, oh, hey, yeah, no, here.
Just ignore it.
Here's just another little taste, Andrew. And then just, get to my veins. I don't want that to happen.
Just ignore Shenmue on your PC. It's the same as your console.
But I don't ignore it on my console. Uh-oh.
No, I don't ignure it on your console. Ignore it on the PC.
Crack? You got more of that Shenmue crack? I'm scratching my neck here. Damn, no video. So that's it for the Kickstarter update. That same day, we got massive news from A Gamer's Journey, the definitive history of Shenmue documentary. They launched a Kickstarter, and within 24 hours, it had reached almost 90% of the goal, I think. It was very well. It has surpassed the goal as of right now.
It's got 23 days to go. That's pretty good.
We're recording this on July 30th, and the goal of 25,000 Canadian has already been reached, and we're at 27,208. The Canadian dollar is not very high right now. So for people in the United States and other parts of the world who have a comparatively high dollar, this works out in your benefit. So please, please, please take that in consideration and back as much as you can.
So this is a Canadian production then?
Oh yeah. It's going to have heritage moments in it. Adam Scipione, if you're listening, if you put in a heritage moment reference in the special feature somewheres, you will be my absolute hero.
Not many people know that Ryo Hazuki is a part-time log driver.
Whirling down and down the harbor. Oh man, any Canadian listeners out there? if you get that reference, that's so niche.
That would be a really good minigame part-time job in Shenmue is log driving.
Log driving?
Yeah. It's just keeping your balance as you float on these logs down the river.
It's where Ryozuki learns to step lightly.
Yeah. Oh, it's good for training.
And instead of the guy with the accordion, he just cools you with a boombox. Oh man!
We hope the Canadian listeners are laughing along with us.
Oh man, that's okay.
Just YouTube it, everyone else.
The
Log
Drivers Waltz.
Log Drivers Waltz Heritage Minute.
This is Canada, the greatest country in the world. So yes, there's various Kickstarter goals. Matt and I have both backed it, obviously. 472 backers so far. The rewards are great. You're going to get a Blu-ray copy of it for the most part. There is a lower tier with a digital only, and I think there's a DVD one as well. The trailer that he put together for this is absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
I love the part where it shows Adam Korlick talking, and he's talking about Kotaku and how I think they were kind of like making fun of Shenmue fans, and then just it gets plowed over by the audio of them introducing Yu Suzuki at E3.
Yeah.
It was great.
I really liked the little scene they staged at the beginning in the antique shop.
Yes, the gender swap.
Yeah, but it was all like, it just looked like a real life Shenmue kind of.
Yeah, it was brilliant. And the stretch goals, we have 30,000 and 35,000. I think we're going to get to the 30,000 for sure. We have over 3 weeks left, and
everything looks great. The only thing that I don't really love about this project is the title. A Gamer's Journey is a little generic. I know there's a subtitle of The Definitive History of Shenmue, and there's also a lot of baggage with the word gamer. A lot of people don't like to be called gamers just because gamers have a reputation lately for being
See, I'm on the exact
terrible.
opposite. I love it.
Really, what do you like about it?
It gets to the point for me. It is his history as an individual person, but it's also my history. It's your history. I embrace being called a gamer.
Okay, you'll have to look up that controversy. Because it's not, like, a lot of people consider it a bad thing, but...
No, I know, but...
But, everything else about it I really like, and I can't wait to see it. There was an update recently that they had to go back on their highest tier, I think.
Yeah, there was a legal thing, something along those lines.
It was supposed to be a trip to see the studio, I think, and they found out they can't do it.
Yeah, but they did have put in a reward in its place.
What did they change?
Scroll to the campaign. It's at the bottom because someone's already snatched it up. They're going to bring a Dreamcast with them and have as many people sign it as possible.
Oh, cool.
And then when they get back to the States, that person gets a Dreamcast. I love that they called it the big gold medal, too.
Yeah.
Nice little reference in there. I am pumped. Matt and I are going to put together a donation. Well, I think is it a donation? We're getting something in return.
Yeah, it's not really a donation.
We're going to put together a pledge. A back? Is that what? A back? We're gonna. It just. I don't know what the word is. We're going to pay money, and
we're gonna pledge some funding.
Yes, pledge. It's like PBS. And you'll get this nice sweater and a T-shirt.
Yeah.
So we're gonna put together something, and people will eventually see it. And yeah, it was a great day to be a Shenmue fan. It was fantastic.
Yeah. Anything else?
The Slacker backers we mentioned ends on the 13th. This video is probably coming out end of July, first day of August or something. So please, if you can, back it. If you haven't already backed it, please give whatever you can. We appreciate it, even though we're not the ones getting it.
It's a present for all of us.
It is a present for all of us. So I think that's it for this episode.
Okay.
You can catch us on social media. We are at Shenmue AM2 Pod on Twitter. I started an Instagram for us. I have done nothing with it, but it is at Shenmue AM2 Podcast. We are Shenmue AM2 Podcast on Facebook. We have a group and a page, youtube.com/Shenmue AM2 Podcast. Shenmue AM2 Podcast on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Music, whatever their service is called. I don't think a single person has ever used it. I don't think we have a single download. But yeah, please hit that button to subscribe, get your notifications, smash that bell. Is that what the kids say?
Yes.
Yeah. Ding, dang, done. We'd also like to thank our sponsor this week, Wise Men's Kung Fu.
Wise Men's Kung Fu in Wise Men's Quarter, servicing all your Kung Fu needs.
Do you guys have move scrolls? Because I was, like, up the hill, and there was this guy making me, like, work in his library or something. I kept dropping them, and, like, he didn't pay me, so, like, can I get move scrolls here?
Yes. Kids,